this journey that you're on is such a long, arduous, and joyful, but complicated, great days, bad days. And there's so much that goes into success. And success can mean a lot of different things, just like Madeline talking about of your own personal success that I proved it to myself, or throwing the touchdown to win the game, as she talked about, making the game-winning serve. Whatever success is, there's so many things that go into it. And the drill work that Coach Smith works with and does all the footwork and all the arm action and the throwing techniques is stuff that you have to practice over and over and over and become instinct. Then you have to have the mental capabilities that you're learning how to identify defenses. Then you're learning how to read coverages. Then you're learning how to make decisions and progressions and then protections and different things like that. So we're going to I'm going to start off to go through some of the routes and the reads, and we'll just go through some film that I have saved. All right. And I'm going to share that right now. Okay. What kind of formation is this that we've talked about? Can anybody tell me? 2 by what?
2.
Yep. Yeah. 2 by 2 formation. Okay. 2 by 2 formation. We have 2 receivers on either side. How many high safeties do we have?
2.
2. Okay. So we have 2 high safeties. Again, if you're just making a quick glance, we've talked about using that umpire. Okay. As that's the safety line, the high safety line kind of thing. Okay. All right. What have we talked about corners? And is this 2 deep man under or 2 deep zone? Zone, because they're looking at you, right? They're looking in here. They're looking and trying to read you or read other receivers and things along those lines. Okay. So those things that we talked about. Where is this defender lined up? Can anybody tell me some of the language that we've used?
The alley.
He's in the alley. Okay. He's in the alley. That's very good. And he's splitting the difference between those 2, which we call what?
Apex
defender, right? Okay. So this is all stuff that we've been working on. We've been talking about. All right. Now I'm going to, let's see if we have, yes. Okay. Hold on. So this is the same picture. Okay. But it's from the end zone shot. This is the center right here. So can anybody tell me the front? Okay. Which is just the down guys. What kind of front is this? Anybody remember?
Odd
front. Odd front, meaning there's somebody on the center and the guards are uncovered. Okay. That linebacker's backed off. Okay. And then there's somebody on the tackles. Okay. And we can see that odd front. Now they've walked a linebacker, which we call, watch this linebacker. Okay. Right here. When we see this coming, what kind of posture are we seeing right there out of that linebacker? What do we call that? What?
Aggressive or walk up.
Okay, a blitz posture. We're thinking, okay, he's showing us that he's going to blitz. He's showing blitz posture. The rest of the guys are all pretty square, flat-footed defenders just playing zone defense. Okay, so that's a blitz posture out of that linebacker. Okay, and so again, I'm going to each play, I'm going to kind of go through defenses and look into that. We still real quick now. Okay, so we're still in a 2 by 2. All right, now actually, excuse me, this is a 3 by 2, right? This is actually an empty formation. It's just the running back moved up right there. It's nothing fancy, but it's a 3 by 2. Defensively, it looks about the same, doesn't it? Looks about the same. What do we notice a little different? Can anybody tell me about the front on this defense?
Even front.
Even, maybe, but we have 5 down. There's 5 down. That's a little different defense. It's a 5-2 defense, 5-man front. Okay, and when we have everybody covered like that, we would call that a double eagle. All right, meaning we have the nose covered, and then the guards covered as well, and the tackles all covered. We would call that a double eagle. Some people call it a bear front. I'll have to overthink about that. Okay, just let's go to see how you have all 5 guys down. and it's a 5-2 core. Okay, let's look at this one. This is a little bit of a funky defense right here. Okay, how many high safeties?
2.
2, and they're pretty deep, aren't they? They're deep. Are they exactly on the hash? No, something might be a little bit different because of the level. They're not even. They're not straight across from each other. So maybe this guy's going to roll down and that guy's going to roll back. Let's just see what happens. Okay, no, they kind of backpedal and they're soft. Maybe it's because we're in an empty. And again, we just moved. It's a 2-by-2 formation, and we just moved the running back up there. All right. And again, so just trying to give you some different looks, and we'll go back. There's that same team that in a different year that had 5-2, that 5-2 core. When again, we're talking about the core, we're talking about those guys right there. It's a 5-2 core.
Could that
How many
previous
high
look, Coach? Can you go back to that previous look?
Sure.
Could that be that match cover 2 you were talking about a couple weeks ago? Possibly.
Sure.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, sure could. He wants to be, and where they're going to try to be inside number 2 receiver, inside number 2 receiver is their base alignment. And they don't want that guy to cross the face. They would have to jump him. Yes, that could be that match cover 2. It's a good point. Okay, now what do we see in? Let's go back to the other 5 down real quick right here. This is the same team one year to the next. There's this, we played at home first year, then the next year we played them on the road, and they were in dark. But it's 5 down. How many high?
2.
2.
Okay, 2 high safeties. Now look at this same team the next year. Now how many high safeties?
1.
1 high safety. So 1 high safety. Zone, you're thinking 1 high. Now we're thinking some kind of cover 3 because these guys are showing zone, aren't they? They're looking in, butts to the sideline, looking at the quarterback. They're getting ready. So it'll be some kind of cover 3. Okay, now I'm going to go back. I just want to show you a little bit of defensive looks and talk about our defensive looks. So make sure we're kind of not just focused on offense. Now, this cut up is all the same play. In our verbiage, you can see it on the screen. It says offensive play, streak. Okay, in our verbiage, we tag this as streak. All right, and what that means is into the boundary, and we've talked about this on our drawings. Into the boundary, we have a smash, and to the field, we have an inside post and a post curl with this guy checking, and he runs a flat route. Now, quarterback wise, again, where's our fast throw, our get out of jail? Okay, and all see the hitch right there. That's where we know, hey, if we're in trouble, we know we can get to the ball quick. That's also our first read, and then this is our second read. 3, 4, 5. Now, again, so we call this streak smash into the boundary, post curl flat to the field. Okay, and this is what we're going to run for the next 4 or 5 plays. I'm going to show you, and just we'll see exactly where the quarterback goes and see if we agree with his reads. Now, again, we think 2 high. So when we see 2 high safeties, first of all, we see 2 high. Do we think, hey, I don't think I have good protection, or I think I have decent protection time? Anybody?
Decent.
Yeah, I should have a decent time. I got 5 plus a running back is 6. They have 4 probably blitzing. Okay, so I think I got 2 high. I should be able to go through a decent, my progression, 1, 2, 3. All right. In this scenario, my coverage clue, 2 high time, I don't really need to think about taking that really fast. And I'm going to high-low that defender. 1, 2. Okay, so we low high. I should say low high because the shorter receiver, the shorter route is our first read. Okay, if it was reversed, if we were going to as a quarterback look him number 1 and him number 2, then we call that high low. Okay, but we call it low high. So we're kind of looking in that area, that defender. What's this defender doing as we are catching or snapping the ball? We're trying to get a clue on, is he going to get out? Do I throw that right away? Okay. Or is he going to sit with a cover 2, a safety close? He could sit and him be over the top. We'll see how it does it right here. Okay. So I'm going to freeze it as the quarterback snaps. as we snap the ball and see if anything changed from pre-snap to post-snap. So again, I got to determine right now in my mind, okay, in just this, what is my get out of jail? I know it's here. Too high, I don't think I'd want to need it. Too high, my coverage clues tell me I'm going to be able to go to 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I have a triangle read on those two defenders. So let's see what happens. So now I'm going to, and what I always tell quarterbacks, especially younger guys, think all that in about 2 seconds. Then think about your feet. Okay, what's my drop? Okay, I got big 3 and a hitch. Okay, I got to make sure I just remind yourself what my drop is. And so my feet are on. If my feet are on time, then usually the ball is going to be on time. Right here, I catch 1, 2, 3, hitch, and make a decision. Okay, now let's look at this right here as he catches the ball. This guy is kind of getting out, but he's not flying out. Okay, he's kind of getting out. And that hitch, he could throw that hitch probably. All right. When we tell this quarterback, I want that to be clean. Okay. Unless it's a 3rd down and 5 or 6 situation, I want that to be wide open before we throw that. Okay. Now, in this throw here, we're throwing to who? The number 3 receiver. The other thing that we talk about is this corner plays both. Okay. If he can play both, if he's in a position to break right here and tackle that as soon as he catches it, or in a position to catch that ball, and he's in a good position. He's kind of halfway in between. He plays, we call midpoint. He's midpointing it. He's kind of ready for either one. Now I want to get off of both of those routes and get to my number 3 as fast as I can. All right. So my quarterback, let's see. He goes,
Coach.
Okay, yes.
I don't want to break up your rhythm here, but there's a couple things. If you can go back to where the DB, the corner, just starts to turn his hips. There. Okay. Now, guys, a couple things on these smash routes. Number 1, something to think about. You're reading that corner, guys. When he turns and runs backwards, you've won his hips. You've won. He's turned his hips and started to run. That means you can throw that hitch. You know when he turns his hips that you can throw the hitch. Second thing is, Coach, go to right when your corner just starts to get right there, kind of gets to past the 40. There. Right. A little more. Okay. There. Right there. Now, a lot of guys want to, if you choose to throw that corner route, guys, a lot of quarterbacks want to throw the ball kind of with some air underneath it and drop it into him as he's running away. Okay. Wrong way to do that. What you want to do, guys, is you want to fire that football at the back of his head. Okay. Throw it at him, make him turn and make a catch rather than floating the ball up and having him run underneath it. Coach, I think that the way you throw this ball on these corner routes, I think a lot of quarterbacks try to do it wrong.
Well, again, I think you're 100% correct, especially when it's into the boundary. What do we mean by into the boundary? Meaning that's the short side of the field.
Yes.
And and this guy's not that far away. If I'm throwing it to the field way out here, now I think a little bit higher, longer, let him run under it type of situation. A higher trajectory corner, which we call high corners or flat corners. All right, now, so Coach is right on. If you only have 2 shots and it's high-low and that's all you got, you take that first read and take your 7-yard gain. Again, I'm a little greedier, especially when there's too high, especially if I have a decent line and I have an experienced quarterback. I want that first read to be wide open, or I'm going to pass it on the short if it's short. Okay, if it's short, because I'm a greedier. I want to push the ball down the field. Again, now if it's 3rd and 5, take it. Right. If you've missed 7 throws in a row, take it. Hopefully you haven't missed 7 in a row. Take the short stuff. But he's playing it kind of halfway in between neither. Okay, and we see if this corner, the safety into the boundary is wide already. He's wide. He's outside the hash by alignment. And we know, okay, he's playing that corner route pretty good. I know I have him out of my post, inside post. I know I have leverage just on my inside post stem. And I have this quarterback 1, 2, 3, hitch, throw. Okay. Now you can see our running back kind of gets caught up in protection, helping. And then our post curl to the field. Okay. Is some space for that as well. So in reality, almost he could throw. I wouldn't get mad at him throwing any of these throws.
No.
Okay. They're
Exactly.
almost all open. All right. So I'm not going to get mad. And when we talk to quarterbacks a lot, it's snap judgments. It's second by second. It's a half a second difference. And we're going to try to coach the perfection. All right. But in reality, hey, I'm fine. If you threw that ball, good, let's roll. You threw that ball for a completion, good. He's open, rip it. Okay. You threw that one for a completion, as you do, good. You kept going and threw it to here. Now, I would not like it if you kept the ball and tried to, because I wanted to throw it here when these guys were open. All right. And you threw to your fourth read and you may risk taking a sack. Now we might have some problems. But again, this is a pretty good idea of the progression. So let's look at it. We can watch the quarterback. Let's see his eyes. Okay. So he's looking, I think, do you think that he looks at that hitch really hard, or is he looking at that defender or that area? What do you guys think? What do you think? It's hard to tell for sure.
Defender.
Yeah, he's probably looking at that area. He's not looking at the hitch guy, the guy, the quarterback or the wide out running a hitch. He's looking at that area and that defender. Okay, so you can see, I think he looks out there, looks at that defender, then he looks at the corner, the safety covering it, and he immediately, look how quick he gets to that inside post. 1, 2, 3, hitch, ball. Okay, throw the first hitch on that. If he's going to throw the corner ball, probably should throw it on that first hitch, ball.
Yeah, and guys, it's worth noting the rhythm that the quarterback keeps himself in. Fantastic
Nice balance.
rhythm.
Yep. Okay, so let's go to this same play to a different look. Okay, this one actually is similar look. Again, all we did is move the running back up to right here. Oh, excuse me, we moved the running back over there. He's going to run the corner. So let's watch it. Okay, again, we have a very similar situation, very similar to that corner's kind of hanging on the hitch, but he's kind of in good position where he can go back and break on the corner too. Probably could, if he took the hitch, I wouldn't get all mad. Okay. Okay, as he's looking to throw, he goes through 1 to 2. He sees it's not there. He's getting ready to go to 3. 3 doesn't go there. Okay, let's get back to my curl. Now, a lot of times, when I get off of number 3, I got to move to throw 4 because there's going to be people coming around me. Okay, and there's a natural escape lane between the guard and the tackle right there. Again, not going to go through too many technique things with quarterbacks here. This is more about your mind and what you're seeing in coverage wise. But again, we talk about if, hey, it's 3rd and 5. Now I need to rip that. Again, it's here. He's playing kind of halfway in between. I'm going to get off of it as fast as I can and throw that inside post. And I think he, in some circumstances could have ripped that, but he saw that nice escape lane with a clear spot and goes ahead and makes the move, make it on the move. But again, I'm gonna skip through things and not over coach too many techniques in this.
I'm reminded of about 4 days ago, I'm watching a Football Life on John Madden, and he talks about when he was a young coach, he went to a coaching conference with Vince Lombardi. Vince Lombardi was the speaker or hosted this conference. And he said that they studied the same play for 2 days.
Exactly. And we do that. We do this all winter. We'll go back and study we'll study our plays like that from the last year of this same thing. And then we'll go back and watch the previous years as well. Okay, so again, here's the same thing. Hitch, corner, post, curl. Okay, flat route if he gets to it. Okay. All right, now this one is a too high, but again, we think it's kind of a funky deal, and it probably ends up being a some form of match or cover 3, and he plays this. They run this defense runs a lot of zone blitz. And here they only rush 3, but they drop that safety down quite a bit into a cover 3 hole. This ends up being a quarters, and you can see the difference in the spacing between those two people from this play to the other two and where the corner was. Where in the other two, the corner was much closer on that top of his route. And in this scenario, I do recall that we had a couple incompletions in a row, and he wanted, hey, let's just get a completion. They're giving it to us. Let's just take it.
Can you stop when he starts his throw motion, Coach? Right there. Okay, freeze it right there. But guys, and again, I emphasize this with young quarterbacks all the time. Notice this quarterback has already started to throw the ball and the receiver hadn't even turned around yet. Okay, you have to anticipate, guys. You have to learn to anticipate them coming into their breaks. This is why you work with your receivers in the off season.
Okay, receiver starts to run before he catches it, drops the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to see it again. Now we have an actual tight end in the game, still 2x2. How many high safeties?
1.
Right.
1.
Hitch, corner is not the greatest route to throw versus cover 3, especially if there's a alley defender. Now there's no alley defender here, so we have a wide open hitch. He bites on it. You might be able to throw the corner over his head. But a lot of times we're going to tell this quarterback, hey, my coverage clue, too high, I'm thinking I got time. I got 4 rushers. 1 high, I'm thinking how many rushers? In our math, it's 5. Okay, now I might not have as much time. Let me go ahead and take this, or I go really quick right to number 3 and number 4, 5. Okay, so let's see where his quarterback goes with it. Okay, again, he's going to go ahead and take it. I got 5 on 5. I got 5 rushers, 5 blockers. I got an easy hitch. Let me go ahead and take it. Can't see the down and distance. This looks like 2nd and 10. I'm going to go ahead and take it, get myself in a 2nd or 3rd medium. Okay.
Once again, guys, ball's out before the receiver even turns around. There's no wonder why this quarterback played major Division I football. Happens to be Kyle's son. He hasn't mentioned that, but that's Bailey Hockman playing quarterback.
Okay, this one looks like we got some. I'm going to go through some quick because of the audio issues. All right, but it's the same thing. So this is just a cover 4. Everybody see that? 4 guys across deep. So, and again, he could take that on a 3rd and 20 or 2nd and 20 and get half. But again, he's thinking, I want to be down the field more, and I see space. Ends up getting an 18-yard gain.
So situational football, guys, they can influence your decisions on what you do with the football. What's the situation? What's the down distance? What do you have to get? Throwing that hitch
throw
doesn't do you any good.
Same thing. Hitch, throw.
Yep.
Okay. Still 2x2. Okay. What's our safety? Still too high. Okay. Again, you have now your apex defender's a little wider. Take note of that for other things. Is there an apex defender over here? Yes or no?
No.
no alley defender to the boundary. Okay, maybe we take that into account for something. I got a free release by my corner ball. Okay, now he loved to throw. This receiver went to Duke, was the leading receiver at Duke for a long time. He loved throwing him the ball. Let me see if I can get one where we can you can see why after he catches it. TJ ramming. Just hit ball, hitch, waited a little bit longer and threw that over the. Okay, so again, we call that our streak concept, and that's just a handful of different throws. Okay, this guy's playing for the Jets. This guy's playing for the Rams. How about that? Okay, what's our formation here? Anybody see?
3-by-1.
Yeah, everybody see the 3-by-1. Everybody understand what that means? We have 1, 2, 3 receivers right here, 1 receiver over there. All right, we call it, and people call it different things, but in general, we want to know that's 3-by-1. 3-by-1. How many high safeties?
2.
2. Okay. Does anybody notice anything about the safeties? See how that before, most of the time before when we were doing that 2-by-2, when this receiver was over here, he was more over here. So he is looking and thinking more toward the trip side, which a lot of teams do. Okay. And now you need to know as a quarterback, hey, they're leaning over toward my 3 side. So now I'm thinking more things to the 1 side. Not always. It depends on the pattern. We have a lot of different routes that we run where we say yes, no to him. Do I want to throw him a one-on-one route right here? If I think he's doubled because this corner's or this safety's over here with that corner, then I want to go to my 3 receiver, whatever route they're running. We have a lot of different.
Coach, you can almost count. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders against 3 receivers, and I know that that's not something we necessarily step up but to recognize that you don't have numbers.
Right. And normally in the 3-by-1, this is the defender that determines that.
Right.
That weak side safety. Okay. So I think this is 4 verticals. Okay. We have 4 vertical routes, meaning that we have, if you freeze it at 5 yards, you'll see all 4 receivers are going vertical. Basically, these 2 guys are outside the numbers. These 2 guys are going to the hashes. Okay. And our read, we go a lot of different ways, and I'll show you the different ways. Normally, this is the yes, no. This long throw over here. So most of the time that's a no in our first way we do it. And then this is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. Our running back runs a check down is number 4. Okay. So we're bringing it from field to boundary, and we can do it the other way. And we could make him no, yes, no. And then we go 1, 2, 3 with still our back as the check down. We can do it both directions. Okay. So right here, but this is Carlos Del Rio. He's at University of Florida right now. 2-3 hits. This is a scrimmage. That's why he has a red jersey on. Okay. So everybody see that. Okay. Let's go on to the same thing. 3-by-1. Again, 3-by-1. There's a safety back here. I don't want to spend too much time in the same coverage. I'm going to go through this. I don't like this audio. Why is my audio on the huddle? I don't think I can do it without turning it off, and you guys can't hear me then. All right, this is the same thing, but what's the difference in our formation? Can anybody tell me?
Stacked.
2 and 3 are stacked. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, it's still 3-by-1. This safety now, where's he at compared to that guy we talked about in the last team? This is the hash mark.
Mm-hmm.
But see that he's leaning over here toward, so it's almost 2 guys on 1. Now when coach was pointing out 5 on 3, now there's only, really 3 on 3 over here. So if you have a choice in your concepts, yes, no, right here, is this a yes or a no? Do I have him one-on-one? Nope. So I'm going to say no, and now I'm going to go through my progression this direction. All right, now he gets through his, I'll pause it so you can hear me, but he's getting through his progression. He's looking here, he doesn't see it. He's looking here, doesn't see it because their linebacker's so deep. Now, again, a lot of times when you get to 3 and 4, you got to be on the move. You be on the move and make your throw to number 3. It's not perfect cut-ups. Okay, how many high safeties? Anybody know?
1.
1 high safety. 2-by-2 formation, but we're stacked on both sides. It's still the same play. We still have 2 guys outside the numbers. We still have 1 guy down either hash. We're still on a yes, no right here. 1, 2, 3. Check down with the running back. 4. Okay, 1 high safety. So that means you're going to get probably from your corners are going to probably be deep, right? Probably be deep. How many do we have going deep here? How many do we have going deep in that route?
4.
How many? Anybody?
4.
4. How many do they have deep?
1.
1, and then maybe the corners 3. Okay, so they're going to expect this guy to cover both guys down the hash, and then these corners will take the outside guy. So we got a great chance to throw one of those guys down the hash. Quarterback 1, 2, 3 hitch, double hitch. So he's looking to his left, and he thinks as he's looking here, he thinks this safety is playing here, and he doesn't feel like he's going to make that throw. So he's going to flip his eyes and throw to here. But this safety does really good. This safety plays this really well and almost gets there. Oh, bad film there.
Is that a completion?
Let's see if we can see it from here. Nope.
I
The
mean,
safety plays it really good.
go back to that previous look. I remember
That's-
getting into the point in my playing days, and I didn't have the big arm, but I learned to really throw the ball early, man. And I think this quarterback could have thrown this a lot earlier to one of these slot guys.
Yeah.
Giving him a chance, especially the guy on the right. Just throw it out there to the 5-yard line. Throw it to the 5-yard line. Let him go get it. Look at all that space out there.
Okay, now let's talk about vertical routes and seam routes. Remember, we talked about seams a lot in 1 high safety. Their goal is to keep people out of the seam. Our goal is to run people in the seam. Okay, defenses don't, and when they got 1 high safety, they don't want to have receivers running right down those seams. Okay, so this is a really, really good call and good route versus this coverage because we got a guy running down both seams. All right, and what we want to be able to do is basic with what yard line. The ball is on the 21-yard line. Most people will tell you we want to throw this ball between 18 to 22. So we want this ball thrown in this area right in here. Okay, but what's this safety doing pre-snap? What's he doing? He's starting out over here. So what are you thinking, quarterback? Where am I throwing? I'm throwing over here. Well, then he goes over to the middle, and he's right dead in the middle, and he's playing deep, looking at the quarterback. He's kind of even weaving to that direction. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to throw the ball over here. Okay, now in a seam ball, so throw it. If I decided I'm throwing the ball here, okay, is this a good spot to throw the ball up high? No, because he'll get it, right? So how do we throw this ball right here? Anybody have an idea? Not you, Coach. Any young guys? How can we throw?
Shoulder.
What?
Outside shoulder.
Outside shoulder. What would we call that? What's another way to say it? We call back shoulder. We want to throw to this back shoulder and make him spin around. And Coach talked about a minute ago, throwing it right at his head, and then he spins around and catches the ball, and then the defensive guy keeps running. Now, if you're going to throw the ball to this guy over here, Would you want to throw that in the back shoulder? Yes or no?
No.
No.
No. He's got him beat, so you'd want to put it right on the money on him. And again, it's much easier for us as we stand here to know, okay, we're watching this. Hey, why don't you throw the ball to him? Well, he was looking here first because he saw that safety moving in that direction. So he's like, hey, I'm going to throw the ball away from the safety. And that receiver didn't win like the other receiver did. So let's look at it, see if we can get, I think the camera moves here. Let's watch this safety and how good he plays it. Okay. He's playing right in the middle. His eyes, quarterback's eyes are looking here. So are his. But you better, when you turn your head to there, you better be ripping it hard, not throwing it up high. Threw it up high. That was deep. That was like 5-7 yards into the end zone, 23, 20, or 25, 27 yards down the field. Okay, this looks like the same game. Let's see if we can get this free safety now. Hey, that free safety is pretty good. Let's move him around a little bit. Let's not let him play with us. Let's play with him. So we move and shift guys around. He sees somebody's confused. Nobody goes out there. And this is the same pattern. Again, we got two guys outside the numbers, two guys down either hash. Quarterback's a little bit late with it. This quarterback actually right here is a 9th grader when he's playing.
Jeez.
That's pretty good throw there.
Yeah.
Big kid, Carlos Del Rio, the University of Florida.
Let him go get it. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we knew that safety was giving us a hard time. Okay. Again, so we zoom out right here. How many high safeties? Can we see it right here? Moving around.
One.
They're moving around. One high, maybe even no high. We just run it from a bunch situation, and you can see if he's looking right down this hash, that throw right there, rip it, rip it. He was a little bit behind him, but he threw it, and he threw him open, and it's a big completion. And then let the receiver do it. He wasn't a perfect throw. Doesn't always have to be a perfect throw.
Yep. Give him a chance.
A good decisive read and throw it. Okay, let's see.
Coach.
We almost done?
I think we're up against it. You want to finish?
Yeah. Let me see if I can get one more with a different picture. And okay, this is the same thing. I'll just finish on this play. Same route, but we're going to make that receiver go, and then this running back becomes the 4th vertical. Okay, now what do you see right here? Look how many safeties start with. Looks like maybe a cover 2. They're off level though, right? This is something we've been taught. They're off level. Something might be up. Let me think about it. Okay, what did we end up happening? Oh, they roll coverage. Okay, we roll coverage. We look at that first read right down the hash, and he rips it. Boom. Right down the hash, 4 vertical. This safety didn't get over, and we threw it. But initially, we're thinking, okay, looks like maybe a cover 4.
Coach, draw your contour right there. Draw your see that, guys? We talked about the contour. It's even a little flatter on the on this field side. Yep.
Okay, so we know something's different. This doesn't look like a cover 2. This looks like a cover 4. Maybe it's cover 6. Or we know from film study, they like to rock their safeties and bring blitzers. Watch this running back pick up the blitz. Okay. Then we also, in general, like to attack where they blitz from. Where do they blitz from? They blitz from the field. So I like to attack from the field. It's a good job at his quarterback. Watch him go 1, 2, 3, hitch, throw, and throws a seam ball right down that seam. This safety. And as he's getting ready to throw it, if he feels like this guy really running way over here, well, then you come back and throw that seam ball right there.
Coach, is this a rock or a roll with the safety?
Okay, this is when they come down inside, we rock. We're rocking the safeties. When we roll over the top, and the corner stays low, we call that rolling. Okay, so we're rocking the safety to the field. Yep. It's rocking the safety to the field and replacing the blitzer. A lot of times, safeties replace blitzers. Blitzer comes, I come and fill in for him and get back behind him. And this is just a 3 deep, 3 under fire zone.
Love it.
situation. And we don't
Right
have
in
the
that
end,
space, man. Yep.
we don't have the end zone copy of that one. But again, I just wanted to start the process, and we're going to continue on film study, and we'll get deeper and deeper into the coverage reads, and I'll even get some more quick game. I thought it want to take one and go a bunch of quick game, and then play action as well.